Do you have a practice, like a daily practice or a structure that helps you stay in that state of consciousness, that helps you combat the little voices that show up sometimes, you know, that are naggy, you can't do that, and things aren't working out.
Little gremlins,
Do you have anything that sort of creates a practice or a structure in your life that allows you to kind of keep that instrument tuned, keep that awareness tuned? And what is that?
You know, it's interesting because in every single thing that I have created in my life from that place where I made that turning point, I began creating an intention. This is long before I really knew, law of attraction. It was something the way that I've always lived my life by. So what I do if I'm feeling in a rut is that I always get back to what that intention is. So I will write out what I call a big picture vision of what it is I'm wanting to create in that moment.
So for every step you take or every move or every effort or every dream or...
Yeah, I mean, it's not on every single move. I mean, that would take a long time to write out every step that I take. But for the bigger picture, if I'm creating something within this month, what I want to create in my business, or what I want to see happen at home, or where I'd like to travel. I sit, and it's like you're writing in a journal, for instance, but I write it in the present tense as if it's happening. And I even have a file on my computer, and then I use the Blastation software, and that's where the inspiration for Blastation came from.
In your own practice?
Yes. And so, for instance, I had a situation in my previous office where we were having problems with the parking, and some people around were complaining, and I would have to run out constantly and see
move your car,
and
it was a crazy situation.
yeah and because it was a busy place, and so I thought this is not a good energy here. So I sat down and really first meditated on what I wanted to create, this new setting for my work environment and a healing environment for my clients. And I wrote out a vision of kind of a cottage-like setting with gardens, and that was very empowering. And I wrote it, and I visualized it. I felt it. I felt myself there, and then I just shut it and let it go. And then I went out searching. So that's the action that I took. I looked at what was available in the area, and this went on about 3 months. I'm driving, looking, 2 places that I'm sorry.
Can I ask you something, though? Do you revisit that vision? Do you reread it? Do you sit and conjure up the images again and conjure up the feeling again?
I do.
You do? So
I
keep
do.
Kind of fueling the fire?
Yeah, because, and for instance, I had 2 places that I put my application in on that they said were available, and then they both fell through. And I'm like, what is going on here? And so I pulled back my vision, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, I know it's coming, because it always does.
Your undying faith
I
there
knew
again.
it was coming, and then I was in New York, and I did some searches on Craigslist and found this place, and called my husband. I said, just when we get off the plane, let's run over there. I went there, and I said, this is it. We both stood there where we went. He goes, oh my God, this is it. And so,
like the picture that you had
created.
created.
And when I go back and I read about what I've written, it's exactly the place.